Hey, morning guys, I'm the Tech Prepper. Hope you're all doing well. Today's ARRL field day, and no, I'm not going to participate, but I am going to go hit the field today. We're approaching our warmer temperatures, and I want to make sure that I'm able to protect myself, protect the gear, and actually carry out the communication goal at hand. So we're going to do a few things. We're going to try out some new trail gear. We're going to try out a new product from DigiRig called the DigiRig Lite. And I'm just going to want to walk you through in a freestyle video today how I plan to do a non-trivial outing and how I do it safely or as safe as possible in the Sonoran Desert while still doing some comms work. Let's go check out the gear in the room in the back. First up, we've got a 50 SPF sun shirt here. This one's from REI. This stuff is actually pretty great. You wouldn't think that something with long sleeves would actually help you out here, and it does an amazing job. So absolutely critical kit. Over here we've got the hat that I typically wear. You can see it is just covered in salt from my trail runs. Always put at least 50 SPF sunscreen anywhere I'm exposed. I've got my prescription sunglasses. I will bring the Shamog with me now and basically have very little skin exposed, so this has a lot of applications. I've since switched over to using work gloves from Harbor Freight. This is about the only Chinese stuff I really keep around, but I gotta tell you, this stuff works much better out here in the Sonoran Desert than the tactical gloves. This stuff just lasts forever and is a lot thicker. In fact, this actually even works with the touch on my phone. The new piece of gear here is the Hill People Gear Medium SAR kit. Still really evaluating this guy, but it has about 140-ish miles already in the last about 5 weeks or so. I'll probably talk a little bit about why I bought this, but it's primarily to hold the HT in a better location that does not pose an eye hazard. And this is the only radio I'm bringing today. It's the Yaesu VX6. Now, I've been working through a gastroc tear from last year, finally up to full strength. And my physician and physical therapist recommended that I try the Hoka Speed Goats. These are the Speed Goat 5s, and I'm actually really enjoying them. Again, not many miles, but I've clocked about 140 miles. Pretty much got this at the same time I got the chest rig here. Now, I've been running with a cheap fanny pack for a while from Costco. I think I paid maybe 12 bucks, or my wife did, but I'm running all of my supplemental comms gear in this pouch. I purchased all this equipment, but this is from Tough Possum, and I like it because it's belt mounted, and you'll see some goodies, and we've got the DigiRig Lite in there. I've got proper hydration, my flat pack with 2 1-liter bottles in there, and I'm also going to be running on this side here my ice pack from Core Performance. Again, I bought all of this gear. All of the gear for the most part has been used for many seasons. The only thing that is new are basically the shoes, the chest rig, and now the little pouch from Tough Possum. All right, guys, let's go hit the trail, lace up, and let's do some packet work today using the DigiRig Lite on a phone. Super lightweight. All right, guys, it's 0700, 1400 UTC, all kitted up. The ice plate feels amazing. The humidity is much higher than I'm used to, but we are approaching our monsoon season, so 39% humidity, but relatively cool at 87 degrees Fahrenheit. I think the high today is about 100. We're going to do some radio stuff where I'm going to grab the weather report and forecast over radio with the DigiRig Lite. Also, quick spoiler alert, I don't want to get into it too much, but this is the SAR kit, and I love it because I can pull it with one hand and then have easy access to my CCW. And yeah, it holds a full-size pistol if needed. All right, guys, so I decided to cheat a little bit and save myself some flat trail miles and went out 2.5 miles on the e-bike and have it concealed here with some desert camo netting, and it's always worked well in the past. I've got videos on this setup with the Hovsco Hov Alpha review I did last year. Still loving the e-bike. I think it's a fantastic tool for this type of terrain and the application for general preparedness. All right, time to get some height above ground. All right, folks, so I've got some good elevation here, and if I need to, I'll go to another peak, but I'm kind of using this as a realistic training opportunity to see if I had to get my signal out on low power, basically out to the Phoenix area, what's the minimum amount of work I have to do taking the e-bike and then humping up the first hill that gives me enough of an elevation advantage. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out all of the gear, and we'll start with some APRSDroid stuff. And at the very end, we're gonna go to the shack, and I'll actually show you how I set up APRSDroid and also WoAD for sending email with the DigiRig Lite. All right, guys, so I went ahead and sent out a request via APRSDroid to WXBot, and I asked it for the local weather for my zip code. As you can see, kind of awkward how I'm operating, but it does work with the DigiRig Lite. So one-handed, I'm holding the VX6R, and then also got a weather report back that reads New River, Arizona today, chance of T-storms or thunderstorms 30%, high is 100. So I'll talk a little bit about my impressions of the DigiRig and this setup. Notice that I actually have the radio in my hand. I talked about this last time in the Manpack series on why it's important to have a good ground plane, and running it in the holster is likely not going to perform well unless I have it connected to my Edfong J-pole that's in the pouch. All right, guys, so I'm trying another application with the DigiRig Lite. I tried to get it to work yesterday, and I'm using an application called WoAD WindLink on Android, and I've had a hard time via usability issues. I'm still ramping up. I am seeing that my signal is being transmitted, and I've always had a hard time with packet out here, mostly because I have to hit a distant digirepeater, and I don't believe it's up. I'm trying to go direct, and honestly, I don't think I'm gonna have good success even if I get to higher ground over there. And the reason for it is I was not able to get this packet to work from my home with the same radio with a high gain antenna. So I'm gonna troubleshoot that. I'll share that with you in an after action report. But either way, I think that there's a lot of work to be done on this app. Big kudos to the developer of WoAD for putting this out there. Next year, I'm probably going to focus, after MCOM Tools is done, on Android development and a suite of Android applications, probably a JSA call simplified application, so that I can run just a phone with my basically my Manpack radios, my HF radios, and we'll see how that goes. Anyways, let's go hop into the shack and talk a little bit about everything I did here, some of the configuration, and heck, I'm probably going to try to fiddle around with WoAD and a directional antenna at the house and see if that is the problem. But the DigiRig Lite is actually keying up. Yesterday when I was testing it, I did hear packets go over that sounded like they were correct. In fact, I was able to decode it using Direwolf. So that's a bunch of nerd stuff. Let's talk about it when we get home. So these Speedgoat 5s are pretty cool. I had no issues making down the straight descent there. I did a little bit of schwacking or bushwhacking down, and kind of like it. And for PT, my therapist has been actually working on my footwork, stability, and core, and it's really paid off. I mean, I feel stronger than when I had that full gastroc tear last year. Also, chest rig is working out amazing. It's kind of nice having extra room to kind of put the GoPro and other gear and still have two hands, so it's kind of like a little poor man's helping hands helper. All right, hopefully the bike is still there. I used an Ocotillo out in the distance to help me find it. Let's go ahead and do a quick run through here. Hopefully there are no snakes today. We've had a ton of snakes recently. Yowzers. And we're approaching the position here where I've got the bike hidden with the camo netting. Fun times. Anti-Fuel Day 2024. Lessons learned, tips, digital, DigiRig, coming soon.